Good morning. This is Kasturi Day. Today, I'll discuss the electricity chapter according to ICSE syllabus class 8, the question answer series. Okay, so I was discussing the short and long questions. So I'll continue with that. Describe the method of charging a conductor by induction. For this, see, the conductor to be charged is not touched with the charged body. Okay, but it is kept near the charged body. Okay, that is how the the conductor is charged by induction. Okay, then see, the end of the conductor which is nearer to the charged body acquires an opposite charge. Okay, opposite charge of the charged body, the charge which is there in the charged body, the opposite charge will be induced in the conductor towards the on the end of the conductor which is near the charged body. Okay, while the other end which is far from the charged body will acquire the similar charge as that of the charged body. For example, say a metal rod A is placed on an insulating stand. Okay, that has to be charged. We will charge that one. That is the metal rod A. We will charge that conductor. Okay, then this not a conductor that is to be charged, this rod will have to be charged. Now a positively charged glass rod B with an insulating handle is brought near the rod A. We know that B rod, it is positively charged, glass rod that is positively charged, and we will bring that glass rod with an insulating handle near the rod A. Now the near end of the rod A of the that is the P point. I'll show in the diagram which is the P point. Okay, the P point of the rod A which will acquire a negative charge, because the glass rod that is B rod is having positively charged. So the opposite charge will be induced in the rod A which is nearer to the end which is nearer to the rod B. Okay, and the end which is Q which is away from the this glass rod B will acquire a similar charge, that is positive charge. On removing the glass rod B, the metal rod will again become uncharged. Okay, now explanation of this one is that the positively charged glass rod B attracts the free electrons of the metal rod A. Okay, the positively charged glass rod B, as it is positively charged, it will attract the free electrons which are negatively charged. So these will attract the negatively charged electrons, that is the free electrons present in the metal rod A, towards itself. And so the free electrons of rod A move towards the end P from the end Q. From the end Q, it will move towards P. So it becomes negatively charged. The P end becomes negatively charged. Okay, now therefore the end P becomes negatively charged, and as it gains electrons, and the end Q which is becoming deficiency of electrons will get positively charged. Okay, now on removing the rod B, the electrons of rod A move from the end P to the Q end, and there will be neutralization of the charges. Positive charge will be neutralized, and therefore the whole thing, that is the whole rod, will again become uncharged. Then if the end Q of the rod is touched by hand or it is earthed, end Q of the rod which was positively charged, okay, that end, if it is touched by hand or it is earthed, the rod A becomes negatively charged, because the free electrons of the earth or of the hand will move from the hand or from the earth towards the Q end. Okay, and will neutralize the positive charge at the Q end. Okay, and so on removing the glass rod B and hand or earthing, they simultaneously the negative charge at the point P, at the end P, will get distributed throughout the rod A, which will make the rod negatively charged. Okay, so what happens? See the picture. See, this is the rod, the metal rod, yellow color metal rod, which is to be charged. It has two ends, P and Q. P is towards the rod B, and Q is away from the rod B. Okay, so the B is glass rod, which is positively charged. Okay, so we will bring this positively charged B rod towards the near to the rod A. The P end of the rod A gets negatively charged because this positive charge will attract the negative charge. Okay, so this end will be negatively charged because they will be attract the free electrons of the rod A towards the P end, and the Q end will be deficient of electrons, and therefore that becomes positively charged. Now, as after we remove this glass rod B from this metal rod A, then it will again become neutralized, that is uncharged. Okay, now if this end, Q end, is earthed or it is touched by hand when the glass rod was near the rod A, okay, that time the P end was negatively charged and Q end was positively charged, and that time what happens, we do the earthing of the Q end. Okay, then what happens, the electrons from the earth will move towards the Q end, okay, and neutralize this end. This Q end will be neutralized. Then what happens, and then we remove this B rod, okay, the glass rod is removed. Then what happens, this end is neutralized, there is no charge, no positively charged, that glass rod is not there also. So this negatively charged end, that is the P end, the charge which was there in the P end, that will get distributed throughout the rod, and the rod will become, the metal rod will become now a negatively charged rod. Okay, understood, I think. So this is the process by which the induction, by the induction process, the metal rod can be charged. Okay, now can you charge an insulator by the method of conduction? No, an insulator cannot be charged by conduction as it does not contain free electrons. Okay, so therefore it does not allow free electrons from the charged body to flow towards itself. Next is, what is an electroscope? Name the two types of electroscope. Now, electroscope is a device which is used to detect the presence and nature of the charge on the body. It is a device which is used to detect the presence, that is whether there is charge in a body or what charge in the body is there. Okay, that is deduced by a device known as electroscope. I can say it is used to find whether a body is charged or not, or if the body is charged, then what type of charge is there in the body, that is positive or negative. Now there are two types of electroscope. One is pith ball and gold leaf electroscope. Describe a pith ball electroscope. How can you use it to test whether a body is charged or uncharged? It consists of pith ball electroscope consists of a small pith ball which is suspended by a dry silk thread. Okay, this is the picture of the pith ball electroscope. There's a stand, okay, which is holding a silk thread, and the one end of the silk thread, the free end, is holding a pith ball. Okay, and the stand is an insulating stand. Now to test whether a body is charged or uncharged, we take a body to be charged and is brought near the pith ball without touching it. Okay, body which is to be charged, that is uncharged body, or whether it is charged or not. So we don't know whether the body, the unknown body is brought near the pith ball without touching it. If the pith ball moves towards the body, then the body is charged. And if the pith ball remains stationary, the body is uncharged. It can also be deduced that if the pith ball moves away from the body, then also the body will be charged. Because if that means that if the pith ball moves away from the body, that means there is similar charge. Okay, and if it is moving towards the body, then it is oppositely charged. So there will be the body is charged, that is the thing, okay, and if it remains stationary, if the pith ball does not move, then the body is surely uncharged. Okay, now how will you use a pith ball to find whether the charge on the body is positive or negative? I told you that for this also the electroscope, say positively charged is taken, then the charged body is brought near the pith ball without touching it. If it moves away, the body is positively charged, that is similar charge, that's why it's moving away. And if it is moving towards the body, then it is negatively charged. Okay, now draw a labeled diagram of a gold leaf electroscope and describe its construction. See, a gold leaf electroscope has a brass disc, it has an insulating plug and a brass a glass case. It is inside a glass case. Okay, it has a brass rod which holds 2 gold leaves and there's a metal foil. Okay, now it consists of two gold leaves which are hanging from a brass rod having a brass disc at its upper end. Okay, upper end there is a brass disc and there's a brass which is suspended from that brass disc inside a glass jar. Okay, and that brass disc, the brass rod has 2 gold leaves suspended at the end of the rod. Okay, the rod passes through an ebonite cork fitted in the mouth of the glass bottle. There's an ebonite cork attached at the mouth of the bottle of the glass bottle, and through which it passes. The brass rod passes. The glass bottle has it has a foil on its side near its bottom which is earthed. That foil is earthed. The glass bottle protects the glass leaves from the effect of air, wind, etc. Okay. Now describe Franklin's experiment. What did he conclude from the experiment? Benjamin Franklin took a kite. What did he do? He took a kite which is made up of silk. At the top corner of the kite, he fixed a metal wire about 30 centimeter long. The other end of the wire was joined to a string. Now, at the lower end of the string, he tied a metal key and then a silk strip. The silk strip serves the purpose of an insulating handle. He flew the kite in a thunderstorm. He observed when the string got wet, he obtained a number of sparks between the knuckle and the key. This is because the clouds during a thunderstorm get charged due to friction. The charge of the clouds flow through the metal wire and the wet string to the metal key. This charge gets collected on the key, and when the knuckle comes near the key, it gets oppositely charged by induction. The spark occurs between the unlike charges of the key of the knuckle. Okay, I'll explain this question in my next video. I'll stop here. I'll continue with the rest of the question answers in my next video. Please go through this. If you have any doubt, please do write in the comment box, and also do share with your friends so that they can also be benefited from these videos. Press the like button and do subscribe to get the notification of my next video. Thank you, and thank you for watching. Good day.